Visit us at podlanderpresents.com to find information on all of our shows. It's a juicy one.
Julie, I want to welcome you to our weekly check-in on the blood of my blood pressure. Welcome to Podlander, Drunkcast, an Outlander podcast. I'm Amelia.
I'm Julie. We're here to discuss the Outlander prequel series, Blood of My Blood. This is episode 3, School of the Moon.
School of the Moon. Now, here at Podlander Drunkcast, an Outlander podcast, we are often wrong and we're often not sorry that we're wrong.
We're never sorry.
But sometimes apologies must be made.
They must be.
And so we would like to formally apologize to Robert Duvall, not only for being so horny that we couldn't remember your name last time, which we don't apologize for that. We do apologize because we thought you were dead.
And you're still alive.
You are still alive. You are 94. You still got it.
Long live Robert Duvall.
Long live Robert Duvall. I swear, if we stop recording, we find out that he died today. I don't know what we'll do. Oh no. So hang in there, Bobby. Love you, babe. Also, Julie, we were talking about World War I and air raids in London.
Yes.
I learned something else about it.
Ooh, go on.
Initially, those raids, those bombings of London were done with Zeppelins!
No way. Like,
yes way.
How do you... It seems like it comes in real slow.
Real slow.
Like, boop, 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 boop. And everyone in London is like, quit getting the tubes. Like,
yeah.
Why?
But they were replaced by planes around 1917. They were, apparently the Zeppelins were like not very efficient and they kept missing their target. Exactly. See above. Pac-Man.
Too slow.
Pac-Man's war is just not going to do it.
So what you're saying is there were planes over London in World War I.
Yes, but before then there was Zeppelins.
I do enjoy
Isn't that great? I knew you'd like that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, on to the matter at hand. School of the Moon.
School of the Moon, episode 3. Here we are. This is written by Margot Yatt and Curtis Keel and directed by James Payne, who I believe directed episodes 1 and 2 as well. Yes. So Amelia, just thoughts to open us up.
Well, something was opening up.
Hey,
what did we see?
Well, at the beginning, we see Ellen and Brian getting it on in the heather. It's great. It's very cute. It's almost like teenagery, kind of. Like we're just making out in the woods. The first thing I saw was his dirty ass fingernails. And I immediately was like, there's a yeast infection waiting to happen. But then I got a little deeper on it and I thought, can you imagine the makeup artist? Do you think he's getting his face done at the same time that he just puts his hands out and they paint his nails around his cuticles and underneath the nail to look filthy like that?
They've gotta.
They've gotta. So to whoever did that work, excellent work.
Great
because
job.
My attention was directly drawn to there. Then he begins to finger blast her, and we're like, oh, finger blasting in the heather. Cool. Then she wakes up. It's a dream.
It's a dream. I was about to riot when the dream comes back into the reality because we hear Brian saying, time to say your daily prayers. And like that, if that's supposed to, if that, luckily it's fine. It's fine. That was real life.
Immediately shut.
Yeah. It would seal up forever.
It would just seal up.
Barbie. Instant Barbie.
Dry desert happening. Don't ever say that to me when you're finger blasting. Just anyone who listens to this show. So we know that Ellen definitely has a little hard on for him. And then I just asked Amelia this question like 5 minutes ago. So her dream about him, her first sex dream about him, is about finger blasting. So does this mean she doesn't know? She has to know. She's seen the animals in her. I mean, come on, she has to know.
Yeah.
But she hasn't. Obviously, she's a virgin. She's never done it. So she can't, I guess she can't picture being fucked by a man?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe she's saving dirty thoughts for marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
But also in her dream, he is pretty cool about it because he's like, tell me what you want. And that's
hot.
That's always hot. To the two men that listen to this podcast.
Yes.
Please know that when you ask what a woman wants, that's very hot.
Very hot.
Okay. So it was a dream. We wake up and Ellen is back. Let's go ahead and do the two stories separate. Let's start with the Clan Mackenzie story and then get to Julie and Henry at the end. So Ellen wakes up into her nightmare. Ugh, we remember. She's being bandied about by her brothers like a chess piece. She doesn't even know. So Mrs. Fitzgibbons is in there being like, all right, get up, bitch, get up. You got to get up. There's people here for the gathering. You got to look good. And so Ellen already knows that she's probably been promised to Malcolm Grant, right? She knows that one. Or does she? Yes, because... Yes. So she does know that one. What was the thing that she did not know that was said right away?
I think just that the word was out.
Oh, that other people knew.
Yeah.
Right. There was was something very specific that she didn't know.
Let's see. Okay, let's walk through our memories of that scene. Mrs. Fitzgibbons is like, you seem bouncy and jaunty and bunny. Is it because of a guy? Oh, yes. I didn't think you'd approve, Mrs. What's her name? Glenna, I think is her first name.
Mm-hmm.
Glenna didn't think you'd approve. What do you mean? Malcolm Grant is a fine gentleman.
So
and she's like, what?
She didn't know yet.
I don't think she knew.
She knew she had that fight with her brothers when she came back from the bridge meeting with Brian. Mm-hmm. But she did not know that they had moved forward with promising her to Malcolm Grant. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So, like, the servants know. Everybody knows. Except for Ellen. God damn.
It's fuckery.
That's so rough. And then there's Mrs. Fitzgibbons with... No, we don't see the Grant tartan until later, right?
That's later. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Ellen has to walk out of her bedroom that morning like, what?
The fuck?
Yeah. And then it's the gathering again, right?
Well, she has that moment with Colum where she's like, what the fuck, man?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were my brother.
I thought you were my brother. We were the closest in mind and heart and whatever. And I nursed you when you were sick. And how could you do this? And he was like, I thought we were still close, but gotta do it for the clan. And she's saying, like, I could be more used to you here. I could counsel you. And he's like, counsel? Without a cock? He doesn't say that, but he basically says that.
We know what that means. We know what that means.
So, betrayment
happening. She does make him feel a little bit bad, though.
Yeah.
We see him hurt by her words. Good, but that's not going to mean shit.
Yeah.
See ya.
Right before this happens, we do see the credit sequence, which has been expanded now that we've seen more things. And I just want to take this opportunity to say, psst, that's the fiery arch.
Is that going to come up?
It must.
If there is an episode of this show called The Fiery Arch, that might be it for me. I might tap out, y'all.
That's fair.
I bet there's not, but psst, I saw it too.
Okay, then we go, what's going on with Brian? If he had a sex dream, we don't know about that.
Well, he goes back and Murtaugh's already breaking down camp from wherever out in the fucking highlands they pitched their tent. Like, they obviously didn't want to be close by because Brian was afraid of getting clocked, which he did.
They didn't want to pay for a campsite at Bonnaroo, so
this is a KOAA situation. They are out in the hinterlands, and Murtaugh is busily packing his shit away, and Brian comes back from the bridge. No, that doesn't seem right, because it's probably the next day, right? Or is it the same day? There's no way Murtaugh could have known that.
No.
Okay, so once again, we've got a little like, what happened here? But anyway, Murtaugh's breaking down camp, and he's like, well, the gal I wanted is promised. And Brian is keeping it real close to the vest. He's like, Ellen Mackenzie, you never even talked to her. Well, she's going to be married to Malcolm Grant. And this is the first time Brian's heard it. Mm-hmm. Now, Murtaugh knows before Ellen. Mm-hmm. Once again.
The words, well, I mean, if Mrs. Fitzgibbon is his auntie.
You're right.
And she's got hot goss.
Yeah, she's spreading it amongst the clan.
Yeah.
So Brian immediately is like, what? But you know what he does not take this time to do? He does not take this time to tell his best friend, Murtaugh, that he and Ellen are true love. And here's Murtaugh wandering around packing up his camp, being like, oh, if I could only meet her, I could just tell her what I've... And it's like, oh, God. He's going to be so mad. Brian, why don't you tell him? Brian?
Like, yeah, sparing his feelings only goes so far. And also, Brian, you are taller and stronger, if maybe not as scrappy, but still, like, even if Murtaugh tries to kick your ass, you're going to make it.
I will say this. I don't trust Murtaugh with a knife. I think Murtaugh with a knife might be Maybe he needs to get him back to Leathers. Maybe he needs to have him on like shared ground.
Yeah.
Right. But Brian does not take this time to tell the poor Murtaugh that Ellen is spoken for not only by Malcolm Grant, but also by him. But Murtaugh is so funny. He has gone all the way in on this fantasy of him and Ellen being together, even though he has never spoken to her and she has never seen.
Well, I mean, because that's absolutely deranged behavior.
Yeah.
It's not anything like my relationship with Stanley Tucci.
Listeners, I want you all to know that a life-size cutout of Stanley Tucci was carried all around the city of Chicago on Amelia Bazel's bachelorette party.
That is true. But that is normal behavior, okay?
Yeah,
Murtaugh
he's
is
fine.
Being just totally out of pocket.
Whatever, but he's given up. He's like, if I can't have Ellen, fuck this gathering, we're out.
Yeah.
And so Brian and Murtaugh head back to Leather.
Mm-hmm.
We flash to Leathers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we see Davina Porter, which I think this is the first time I've ever really noticed this, but the maid at Leathers, who we believe to be is Brian's mother, and I think that is true,
Yes.
is named Davina Porter, Miss Porter. And I know that listeners of this podcast will recognize that name, as Allison has waxed rhapsodic about Davina Porter as the voice actor that read the audiobooks of the Outlander series. So nice job. A little tip of the hat. If you can find that actress's name, I would love it.
Yes.
Love it. Get it?
Oh,
So
boo.
boo.
Tomato,
We're at Lovett's
tomato.
house. And Davina Porter, Miss Porter, is in Julia's bedroom, bringing in clean sheets or clean shifts or something. It's like some kind of laundry situation. She hands it to Julia and then looks at Julia, looks down at the perfectly made bed that Julia has already put effort into, and throws the cover backs to see she's looking for something. We all, as women, we all know what she's looking for. She's trying to find some evidence of menstruation. Like, when is Julia gonna drop the flowers in the parlance of the show? Amelia and I had never heard this phrase. Here are some of the phrases that I've heard. Getting a visit from Aunt Flo.
Mm-hmm.
Shark Week.
Mm-hmm.
Crime scene.
Mm-hmm. Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide. That's all I can come up with off the top of my head. But Bringing Down the Flowers was never one of them.
But that's, I believe Bringing Down the Flowers is like literally abortifacient. It's not periods. It's what she was referring to with like, it's time to bring down the flowers. Here's the potion that we use to flavor the gin. We are going to self-manage an abortion.
There was that, but before that, she referred to her not seeing the blood.
Right. But I think that's separate from the Bringing Down the Flowers.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then later when they're confronting each other in the kitchen, Julia's like, well, you didn't bring down the flowers. And Davina's like, it's different because it was the Laird's son.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm 50-50 on that. I think she was talking about Ragan too, but I agree with the Bringing Down the Flowers because that's like grabbing the jar of the dried herbs bane or whatever it is, the abortifacient of the past. So Julia now all of a sudden has to do a little soft shoe.
Sarah Vickers.
Thank you, Sarah Vickers. You're doing excellent work here.
Yes.
So Julia has to do a little soft shoe about, I'm not pregnant, because she's not showing yet. We know she's pregnant. Nobody else really knows she's pregnant. Miss Porter is on the scent. And so Julia's like, this will not be necessary. I am not pregnant. All women are different. You know, but Miss Porter knows. And so now Julia knows that she knows. And now Julia has to start thinking about this in terms of preservation, in terms of what am I going to do here? It's clear I can't get away. I've tried. And so we don't really see that part of it yet. We're going to see it later, but we know that she knows that she knows.
Yeah.
We know that she knows that she knows.
Moses supposes that roses are roses.
And
Bring down the flowers. Erroneously.
So Julia's life still fucking sucks.
Yeah.
That means she's a prisoner.
Yep.
Okay, so we've seen that little snippet. And then is it just all gathering all the time?
Pretty much. Ellen confronts Gilf. New listeners, Gilf is what we call Dougal because...
in the OG series, played by Graham
McTavish.
Graham McTavish, thank you. We named him Granddad I'd Like to Fuck.
Yes.
So now he's young Gilf, but he's still Gilf. Now listen, I don't want to sit down and have an intellectual conversation with this man. No, he would make me snap my eyeballs out with a fork. But I would not be averse to a little playtime. As he is very clearly playing all over the joint. He's the Sonny Corleone, as we've already said. He can just get it. He can get it. So it's Ellen has already talked to Colm and came up dry. Now she's going to try to talk to Dougal. And Dougal is dumb.
He's dumb.
He's so dumb. He's very cute.
He's
very
a sex
hot.
idiot.
But he's a sex idiot. And he's dumb. And she's trying to be like, you can't split. You cannot keep splitting the focus, which is what he always does. And then is this the first flashback?
Not yet.
Okay.
Right after this, then a guy with a jaunty little bow on his Scottish beret.
That's right. It's nighttime at the gathering.
It's nighttime at the gathering. And so the guy with the jaunty little bow is like, sup. They like nod from afar. And the next thing you know, Hat Man has brought Gilf to
the epic rap battle of history. So if you're ever interested, a way in, just go to YouTube, search epic rap battles of history, and pick up the Gandhi MLK one with Key and Peele. And then you'll see whether or not you want to watch other ones. But it is very good.
How can a Catholic Jacobite son of a... like, that's really... It was just going to be
like that.
Yeah.
And so it's these guys with the little... I think it just means poet or rap artist or whatever it means on their hat, the little white kind of flower. They just get together and entertain everyone with diss tracks.
Yeah.
They're just making shit up on the spot, rhyming, talking about how weak you are or how shitty your porridge is or whatever. I don't know. But I actually learned about this recently. There is a podcast called The Illusionist. It's hosted by Helen Zaltzman. It's really good.
Yeah,
I recommend it to anyone. But recently they started a new series that was on curse words. And one of the episodes is about, or at least has a part of it that is about this tradition, which is where the kind of like take down, drag down kind of rap shit or like poetry comes from. And I think that maybe Brown was in on it. I don't remember. But anyway, it's very fun and hilarious that they show up. But these guys are just trash talking each other is basically what they're doing.
But there's also a guy in a tricorn hat and like with the closed captioning on, I think they were also dissing each other about like the upcoming first Jacobite rebellion. Because they were talking shit about Catholics.
Yes.
And the White Rose of England. Yeah.
They were.
Why is Gilf there? Because that man wants a Stuart throne real bad.
Yep. So that he's a Catholic. Okay. And once again, we show our ignorance a little bit because we're still trying to figure out what the timeline is about Catholicism in Scotland or whatever. Because obviously the pagan influence is still really strong, but it's clear that there's been a Catholic king before. Right.
Because I think now we're in like Church of England because we're Tudor era, all that. So yeah, like so then we got pagan versus Church of England versus Catholicism, people who want the Stuart crown. Seriously, as soon as the show is over, that part of history is going to become my whole personality. I am hanging on by a thread.
Doing some research.
Yeah. But yeah, so Gilf is like, thanks for inviting me to this cool, fun, sexy Catholic rap battle party. And he makes his own deal about Ellen.
Where he says, if I offer her to the McCrary?
Something like that.
I said it somewhere. McCranics. If you know what? I'm going to make an offer to the McCranics of Ellen's hand. So we've got Colm on one side, already offered her to Malcolm Grant. And now Dougal is going to try this same shit on the other side. Once again, Ellen doesn't know this yet. So they're both fucking around with their sister's life. And neither one of them would have had to do this if Dougal could have just kept his fucking shit together. This is not Ellen's fault, but Ellen pays the price. It seems like history.
Ellen finds out about Gilf's machinations from Jocasta the next day.
That's right, because Jocasta's husband is part of the Jacobite first uprising. And we see that later in the flagship series because we get the backstory of the Frenchman's Gold and all that stuff and them escaping to the United States.
And we see it in a flashback that is not in a weird sepia tone.
Ugh. Just don't do that.
Just don't do that. God. Okay, next in the story, we go back to Leathers, but do you want to save?
Yeah,
Brian
let's just
okay.
go through the
okay, so then
gathering.
Ned and Ellen have a chat under like a tarp in the rain. Sometimes grief feels a lot like fear.
Yeah, and Ned is sad because he knows that he can't do anything to help Ellen, and he feels like he has failed the clan because not only are Colum and Dougal infighting and this is bullshit, but also Ned knows that Ellen was Red Jacob's favorite, and he knows that she's getting screwed, and he feels bad. Mm-hmm. Also, once again, let's talk about this actor. I love him so much. Hold on. Conor MacNeill.
Conor MacNeill.
I'm going to need to put you in my mind grapes like I put Mark Lewis Jones in my mind grapes because you are doing something that is very difficult. First of all, you're good at your job. No bones about it. You're just very good at your job. Secondly, you look like the old guy. You look like what Bill Patterson might have looked like when he was younger. Good job, but you didn't really do that. Genetics did that. Thirdly, you have completely taken what was given by Bill Patterson and fleshed it out in this way, where it's, here you are, the smartest man in any room. You are literally the smartest man maybe alive right now, except for Henry Beecham, who you make friends with right away because you recognize another brain. But you're also like, you respect women?
What? In this economy?
Yeah. So thank you very much for your work. We love you, and we really love Young Ned, and hashtag Gowan for it.
Gowan for it.
Gowan for it. All right, so he's bummed.
He's bummed.
Because he knows. And does she say she hasn't found out about the mechanics yet?
She has.
Okay, so now she's like, guess what? Dougal's doing this shit too with someone else. And this is when Ned is like, I fucked up. They're split. Jacob would have been so pissed at me. I don't know what to do. Yeah, so poor Ned. But really poor Ellen.
Bring, bring,
Hello?
Ring. That's the bell ringing. It's time to go back to school. The school of the moon. Next, we have a flashback.
Boo.
The groan we let out when the flashback appeared. Boo.
So we find out back in the day, there was kind of a test of manhood or whatever it was, where a clan would send all of its young, able-bodied men out under cover of night to steal cattle from another clan and to see if they could all come back alive with the cows. So, just a jape.
With the
just
what?
Fun. With the cues.
Thank you.
But it goes horribly awry when Clan Mackenzie tries, because what does Dougal do? What does Dougal do?
He leads them astray, but I don't remember why, because...
He fucks it up.
He just fucks it up.
So Red Jacob wanted them to go to the lowlands because there was I think what his whole deal was, it was a relatively easy grab and they would have had an easier way back. Like it would have been less fraught. They might have gotten into a scrap, but it was less fraught and they would have come back with cows. Great. They get down there and Dougal's like, fuck no, man, go for the glory. And he decides to go for the McDonald's cows or whatever. Joke's on you, Dougal. That's not real meat. Anyway.
E-I, oh no.
Straight to jail. So he splits off from Colum's group and he ends up taking some of the men with him because once again, dude's always going to follow a hard dick. I don't know. And they split up and Colum's horse rears up in the fray and he falls off and breaks his leg. So this is the first time we see him really beset by whatever it is that is his malady. And I know in the flagship, it did seem like it was a congenital thing, like he was born with it.
Yeah.
I think Larissa talked about it a little bit in our chat. So I think it's a syndrome that makes his bones brittle, easier to break.
Yeah.
And as he ages, maybe does deform a little bit. Mm-hmm. So he breaks his thigh real good.
Yeah.
Like, right, it's coming out the...
And Jacob has like... I'm so perplexed by this. I understand like, whatever, toxic masculinity. Get out, walk it off. But like, my dude, it is the past. You live in these times with horses and labor. You don't even have a little bit of sympathy for a broken bone.
Before. You have seen this before. You know you've seen this on like a boar hunt or some shit.
Yeah.
Some guy gets fucked up and's got a bone sticking out of his skin. You know that's not happening right away.
Yeah, but he's like trying to make Colum feel bad for having a broken leg. Broken legs.
I think it's projection, right? Obviously, he knew that his oldest son was born with an issue that made him slightly weaker than his younger son. He's mad at him for that. Not that that's any of his doing. And he's using this as an excuse to dig in a little bit on.
Men would rather steal a coup than go to therapy.
I know. Jesus Christ. Somebody call a family therapist. Dr. Katz. Get him on the line. So we see in the flashback that Ellen is really responsible for kind of nursing Colin back to health. And the way she does that at first is just bring him a cage full of birds. Birds. They're back again. Birds, you guys. Birds mean freedom.
To quote Sense and Sensibility, because you cannot go out to nature, nature must be brought to you. She captures some birds, but she's like, you'll be sad that you can't watch these birds frolicking in nature.
So watch him frolic in this tiny little cage.
Great job.
What she doesn't know is that she'll be in the cage later. Freedom birds. All right. Colum. So Jacob comes in and just basically shits all over him and then leaves. And Colum's like, Dad, no. And he tries to get up and walk. And we see literally his thigh bone still sticking out of his skin. So I'm like, who's this doctor?
Well, I think it broke again when he fell down the stairs.
That's right.
I had my eyes covered for that part. I only heard it happen.
Yeah, he literally drags himself out of that bedroom, goes to those stone steps, falls all the way down, and then we see that thigh bone just sticking right out of his skin again. Damn. But then Red Jacob's got another plan. Because he's found out from Colum that Dougal is the one that initiated the party split when they were on their little cow raid. He's got to go talk to Dougal about it. And when I say talk to Dougal about it, I mean beat Dougal about it. And Dougal is resigned already. You can say, I think that maybe Dougal's gotten his ass beat several times by his dad. Probably for many reasons, usually for being dumb. Maybe for Colum reasons. Maybe other reasons. Dougal is definitely Red Jacob's beating toy. Like, you can tell it's just a regular occurrence because they both know what they're there for, and Dougal just kind of takes his shirt off and is like, let's go, come on, whatever. So that's pretty sad. Yeah. And sad for Dougal, but also Dougal, he will literally never learn.
Well, and then that's the crushing point that Jacob makes. Like, I originally was going to beat you until you bleed, but I've decided mid-beating that you're too fucking stupid, and so what's the point? It was a very mustachy sequence, but I do want to shout out our hot young gilf, Sam Retford.
Sam Retford, you're doing good.
You're doing good. And like I did really appreciate he had a prolonged silent reaction. We see him feeling relief that he's not actually being beaten until he bleeds. He's not getting the Cornish game hen treatment by any means. He is hurt by what his father said, but then he's ashamed for being relieved because why wouldn't he take it? And also, should he feel bad about things going astray? And should he even consider it? I don't know. And just
then empty.
Yeah, it's like there's like a putrid stew of feelings, and then
I found it interesting that he started in the posture of standing to receive the lashes from his dad, and then he got the talking to, and then he got down on his knees, and I'm like, this is how we know. This is how we know that this has been happening to him for years. Whenever Red Jacob has aggression to take out about something or like whatever, this is maybe what he's been doing. Yeah. And it's upsetting. Yeah. But so we get a little bit more of a clue in. Oh, and then Ellen's just upstairs just watching.
From the balcony.
She knows, I'm sure she knows better than to interrupt because she's probably seen this 1,000 times before. But also, what is she taking away from this? Still, I'm Daddy's favorite.
Basically,
Probably. So now we know a little bit of the backstory into the relationship between Colum and Dougal and their father. And this is when we realize this is an episode of Succession.
Yep.
And we're not the only ones to say this. People on the Slack have said it. We've seen some online reviews that mention it. But literally, once again, let's bring back what we talked about last week, which is there are stories and there are stories, and a lot of stories are the same stories over and over and over again. And sometimes when you see the same stories a lot and all the same stories are in the same property, you start to be like, why all the same stories? Just a little something to put in your brain. Anyway,
But that said, I think we agreed that we weren't quite sure where the episode was going to go next. No. So we do appreciate
that we got surprised.
We got some deviation.
What's going to happen? We've got both brothers on either side trying to trade their sister for allegiances. Okay, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
And Ellen has an idea.
Ellen's like, these jabrones, I got to do something. Mm-hmm. And she's like, Ned, come to my room. And while we all agree that probably speaking in that time, a woman, an unmarried woman and a man would not be able to share that space together, I think that because it's Ned and Ellen, I think it's probably okay. I think that Ellen has grown up in the room with Ned and Jacob. I think that Ned understands Ellen. I think that Ellen trusts Ned. Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody's pissed off that these two people are in the room together.
And also, like, he locked the door behind him, so no one's going to see and make weird assumptions.
Right. And she just hands him a little piece of paper that's like, go do this. Here you go. Here's the plan. Boop, 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 boop. And then Ned looks like Superman. So the gathering, the big stramage at the gathering is when everybody comes together to decide who the Laird is. Mm-hmm. And we're about to start that.
Yeah. People are going in.
Ned looks pleased.
He's,
dare I say, jaunty?
He's a little jaunty. He's the cat that's got the cream.
He's got a little something.
We see people going in. Mm-hmm. And we notice that Ellen is wearing like the signature twig of greenery that Grant women wear to special occasions. And she's also wearing an outfit made with fabric that Malcolm Grant sent over as a gift. Mm-hmm. And he sees her. He's pleased with what he sees.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, hi.
And he also actually says to her, are you feeling better? Mm-hmm. I'm so glad to see you. And you know what? I believe this dude right now anyway. Mm-hmm. I know that dudes always give us reasons not to believe them. But right now, I believe Malcolm Grant that he's probably a decent dude.
Yeah, I feel like he's a nice guy, but not a nice guy in quotes as exists on the internet today.
Exactly.
But like maybe he would mansplain the plot of a movie to you. But like yes. that seems like the worst at this time.
He might play a guitar at you.
Oh no.
But just a little bit.
I want to push you around.
Just a little bit. Maybe he would play a guitar at you, but then he would see that you were on your phone. And maybe he would decide, no, let's go cook dinner instead, as opposed to being like, so we're saying he's like good dude so far.
Well, I've been told that I've never been there before. A little bit angry when you run away off to the bridge.
Through that little door. So Malcolm Grant is feeling pretty good. Like he's like, all right, Ellen McKenzie's is going to be mine. Let's get in this hall and see how they're going to shake out. Okay, the Grants are in the house. The McKinneys are in the house. By the way, McKinney has been feeling real strong recently because he's getting more and more support as Colin and Dougal have been trying to figure their shit out over this gathering. He's also been showing how strong he is at like feats of strength, and like he would try to challenge Colin, but then like, never mind, don't worry, I know I'd beat you. And then all these people would clap. So we know that McKinney's a fucking dickbag.
Yeah.
But he's feeling his oats. So he's like trying to get in there. And then we've got everybody in the Great Hall. There's Ned looking like he knows what's up. And then Colin just gets up and like, yo, I'm your Laird. But you know what?
But what precedes that?
What is before that?
How do they enter the room?
Oh my God, bagpipes. I forgot about
the closed captions say regal bagpipe playing.
That's right. Okay. I know that a lot of people who watch Outlander or who have read the books have connection to the bagpipes, or they like them, or like something, they feel certain kind of way when the bagpipes start up. I am not that person. So I'm just going to say it right now. If you got like 10 of them playing at a funeral, I get it. For like a Scottish person, I get it. But usually to me, they just sound like kind of like whistly farting. I don't know. But we started coming up with shit like bagpipes are for family, bagpipes for the clan. But they come in and they march in with the bagpipes. So we know big ceremony. Everybody's there. All the clans are there. And Colin just hobbles up to the stage and is like, yo, I'm your laird. That's it. I know I'm a little bit weak, but I got brains. But guess who's got the brawn? My brother Dougal. War chieftain. He's going to be my counsel when it comes to war. And please know that if we have to fight, he going to fight for you. So it's like it's peanut butter and chocolate. We're coming together to rule this entire clan together as one. And McKenny's like, no. He's like, that can't happen. There can only be one laird. And then what is it that Ned says? Ned's like, wait.
There's precedent in other clans. Mm-hmm. So if you all pledge your fealty, we can do the same thing. There's legal precedent. I looked it up.
There have been war chieftains that are separate from peacetime chieftain. Like that has happened before. Why would we not do this when we have two men here who are capable in these two realms? Why would we not use them both? And we all know that this is Ellen's plan.
Mm-hmm. We cut, as this is happening, back up to where the women folk have to watch the gathering from the balcony. I gotta say, shout out to the costume department in general, as always. The stomachers on those three sisters, the intricate fabric and embroidery.
So much time and effort.
God. But in this sequence, Julie, I received more pleasure than I have in a long time. And certainly the happiest I've been watching the show. And this is a shout out to whoever does the closed captions. So, right, Colum's like, I'm your laird, don't worry about it. Gilf will be the ward chieftain. And Gilf is like, yes. I promise I'm not going to actually stab him to death for power. This is a truce. We're hanging out. To prove it, I'm taking my sword and I'm kneeling down and I'm going to place my lips upon it, perhaps in a kiss. But in the parlance of the closed captions, it just says, Dougal smooches. It was great. I'm already
smooches.
It was just so funny.
And it happens a couple of other times.
Yeah, because then Colum is like, yeah, I'll kiss my sword for you too, bro. We're besties. And then it's Colum smooches. And then probably when, there's the, oh, captain, my captain. Yeah, we're all hanging out.
The first guy, I think, was a Mackenzie that did it. The first guy that swore fealty was a Mackenzie. And then McKinney steps up and does it. And we're like, and this is where I have to say this. I feel that the face turn by Dougal was too fast. I do not feel, based on anything we have learned about his character in this show, he would have accepted this result. I think he would have killed somebody. I think he would have fought. I think he would have been mad. I think he would have left. I think he would have done something else based on what we've seen of his character so far. So I just want to say Ellen's idea is a great one, but the execution of it in the show feels unearned and a little bit rushed.
If you can't beat 'em, smooch 'em.
Oh, you know what? On that tip, let's head over to Julia.
Lord.
If you can't beat him, smooch him.
Oh,
I guess, wait, we should actually finish with Ned and Henry at the kitty hoose. So, how did they get there? Was it just Ned talking to him? They were just hanging out? Why were they together in the kitty hoose? Is it after the gathering?
It's after the gathering. Well, there's a very important person that Ned knows. So it's actually our theory of Ned gay? Ned think Henry gay? Ned give the hookup? Nay.
He knows the madam of the local kitty hoose.
Una, I forgot her last name. Absolutely gorgeous.
The dress was amazing. She's in charge. I'm going to say her establishment is a little bit rough and ready, but we are in the Highlands. You can only work with what you've got.
But yeah, there's really not a lot of guidance or policies around when tit out.
Yeah, tit out always. Tit in, tit out. Want money, tit out.
We're tit.
Yeah.
But Ned's like, listen, if you're looking for the really specific lady,
I know how to find her.
Una knows all unattached interesting ladies.
Because she might need them.
So Henry describes Julia.
In the most romantic way.
She's English. She has piercing blue eyes and soft brown hair and a way of making you feel like everything's going to be all right. And she knows how to fix a watch, and she has a photographic memory. So a photograph, I need to tell you what a phograph is, but listen, you're going to be so impressed.
He didn't go that far.
And then...
And then Ned's like...
her breath smells amazing in the morning. You wouldn't believe what she can do with balls, okay? This is just... and also she is ambidextrous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Una's
she's a Capricorn.
And Una's like, I have not seen this person, but I will keep my eye out now that you've told me about this for money.
For money, please.
And we know that because Henry is working for the Grants, he's probably got that. He's got that money. Mm-hmm. So he's like, well, at least there's somebody else helping me look for this. And then, much to Archbug's pleasure, he leaves.
Yes. Oh, yeah, because Archbug comes over and is like, Henry, do not bone any of these ladies. I feel you may catch.
I watched it and I was illness. Like, more like Mr. Arch No Bugs. But Henry leaves, and then we're left with Ned Gowan in the kitty house, and Amelia and I are like holding hands. We've got shiny, bright eyes, hope. Hope, faith. And we're like, show us what Ned is into. And Una literally looks at Ned and goes, the usual. And we're like, And he goes, ooh, yeah. And then cut.
He lights up like, oh, that would be lovely.
And now I need to know.
What would be lovely? Okay, let's speculate.
Okay. I'm going to say group sex, where he can have a chance to do it with men or women, both be penetrator and be penetrated. I'm telling you, I think it's a group sex situation.
Yes, and I think the people in the usual are selected, maybe at one point someone's getting into an argument, maybe they're arguing the law, they're doing esoteric, oh my god, listen, habeas corpus, I want to see that corpus, baby, take them off.
Some wordplay, role play. Oh my god, what if somebody plays Red Jacob?
Oh no.
Nobody plays the kids.
I was just going to say, what if one of them was wearing a barrister's wig? But and nothing else.
I'm just saying, he's creative. He's smart. He is forward thinking. It could be anything.
It could be.
But I really hope that I have faith, and I hope that we see this before this series is over. What is Ned into? Okay.
That is much more fun than the rest of the things that we need to discuss. We need to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
After rewind in your mind back to Murda being like, no, I could marry.
I could beg that.
Yeah, it's fine. They need to go report what happened at the gathering to Lord Lovett.
So this is going back to the leather storyline. So the boys have come back from the gathering, and they come into the kitchen, and Mrs. Porter is in there like, here, eat some food. I'm glad you got some intel. You're going to need to go tell that to the Laird right away. So they do. And what is the Laird doing? Amelia?
He's taking a dump.
Yeah, I know that Amelia does not like this shit, but I want you to know that this is how LBJ got the Civil Rights Act passed.
And I learned that today during the Crowdcast.
Yeah. LBJ was so busy during his time as president that he just took phone calls on the toilet in the White House all the time. So speaking of precedent, there is precedent for this.
Wow.
So he's on his little stone shit seat, and Brian and Murtaugh are outside the little shitty threadbare curtain of his toilet shit seat trying to explain to him all the politics and shit that they saw when they were there. And one of them was they were explaining Ellen's thing. Ellen has been promised to the Grants. We don't really know what's going to happen, but they're going back and forth telling him all these things, and he's in his shitter being like, like he expected a lot of it. But the Ellen thing, I think, was a little bit of a surprise to him.
Yeah, because Lovett is aligned with the Grants. Okay, so Lord Lovett is aligned with the Grants. So he's like, how could they take in Ellen Mackenzie? The Mackenzies hate me. Why? It must be all about me, Lord Lovett, the greasiest man in the land.
He's very greasy.
And so he decides he's going to make up a smear campaign against Ellen and try to ruin her reputation, to really stick it to the Mackenzies. Oh, you think you could marry your terrible daughter who only knows about finger banging to the Grants, not on my watch.
Same as it ever was. So he's just, but her emails, he's just going to trash her so that it looks like the Grants are taking damaged goods, and that's just going to throw everybody into a whole thing. And Brian immediately is like, Dad, why? Why would you do this? Why would you ruin someone's life? And he's like, you've got a lot to learn. And that's kind of it.
But then Murda's like, oh my God, Brian, that was so cool. It was so slick of you to tell your dad. Because then if Ellen's life and reputation get ruined, because at this point, if the lady doesn't have a reputation, her life's ruined. But who cares if her life is ruined? Because then she'll still be single, and then maybe I can be Mrs. Stanley Tucci. And once again, Brian
says nothing.
He's in too deep.
Okay, so we know that Lord Lovett is in on the Ellen drama, and it's going to be gross.
Yeah.
But once again, and I'm just going to bring it up one more time. I'm going to bring it up every time, frankly. We know what happens. I'm sorry. We fucking know what happens. So it's a little bit like, okay, the story is interesting, but who fucking cares? Okay, I won't be.
Julia's so upset. What's that creepy, like, otherworldly movie where the people have eyes in the middle of their palms?
Pan's Labyrinth.
Thank you. Julie was just gesturing like Pan's Labyrinth. She was just so twisted up. Okay, so that is...
But what we did not know was going to happen is what Julia does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this brings us to the final Julia sequence.
Yeah.
How does that start, though? With a voiceover.
Oh, yeah. We were mad about the voiceover. You guys, I got to move my chair back. We didn't need the voiceover. We didn't.
She's writing her letter to Henry in case he ever finds it. I'm drowning in a monsoon's worth of tears.
We know what's happening to her. We know the stakes of what can happen to her. We know she's pregnant. We know that Ms. Porter probably knows she's pregnant. We know she's trapped. We know she's a prisoner. We know that she's constantly being watched. She cannot get away. We don't need the voiceover. And we get it, I guess, to kind of like, once again, remind us of all the toil she's going through there. I don't know. We see her scrubbing the shitter.
Mm-hmm.
We see her scrubbing all the dirty laundry. The constant toil, all these things. We see it. And then we see her, I will say this. This is the first time we've seen her cry.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see a little bit of a flash of like her leaning against a wall and crying. And I'm like, bitch, look how high that castle is. Just throw yourself off the edge. I'm sorry. I know that that's bleak.
We would be great time travelers in the sense that our time would be very short.
Yes, our time would be so short because I would land somewhere right away, look around and be like, oh, they're going to kill me anyway. I know they're going to find a way to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
So she makes a bold choice that I feel is maybe one of the more interesting things we've seen so far, whether or not you like it or not. Julia decides, and I think that's what's the most important thing here, is that she makes the decision to go to Lord Lovett's room and have sex with him. Essentially, she chooses to be raped because she knows that if he thinks this baby is his, it will have a better chance of surviving.
Mm-hmm.
So she is literally making the hardest decision she will ever have to make in order to preserve her child's life. I don't know if she's so concerned about her life, but she's concerned about this kid. And she knows that if she starts showing without having sex with him first, he's going to think it belongs to someone else. And then he will kill her and the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really her only option. So yeah, fucking gross.
Gross.
Yes. And yes, it is rape. But she has the agency here. And I think that is very important. And please, Outlander, please, blood of my blood, don't do me dirty and make this baby Willie. We've also heard that maybe
it's Faith
or Hope, Faith, that Faith would be Claire's sister. And, oh God, here's where I need Monsieur Raymond to appear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for Monsieur Raymond to appear.
I want him to appear and say, "Would you like to watch Amelie instead? Join me. I'm kind of an asshole, but it is more fun.
But I'm very entertaining to watch."
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's episode 3.
It's episode 3.
There were some interesting things here. There were some unearned things here. Great costumes, always. Great acting. I mean, once again, any kind of prequel situation is always going to feel like just fan fiction to me, which is fine. I will say that Julia's choice was the most compelling thing that happened. But overall, it's fine. It was entertaining. To me, this was better than episode 2.
Yes, I would agree. Even though we didn't see Ned lifting up someone's gowan, there are still 5 episodes left.
Yeah, there's still hope. Bye.
Bye.
That was amazing.
So,
Excellent.
words escape me.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent is the only word that I can think of. Anyway, thank you all so much.
Thank you so much. We would like to hand you each an award for excellence in listening to our bullshit.
You all very much deserve it.
Yes. But yeah, thank you for listening. You can find more information on this and the rest of our shows at podlanderpresents.com. You can also find us on Instagram at podlandercast, at podlanderpresents, and at other various Instagram handles for our other various shows. Our Instagram and website are wrangled by Amelia Ham on the Loose Bazell.
Woohoo!
That's me. All Podlander Presents programming is produced by Allison Shoemaker and Julie Starbird. Our editor is Chris Barrett.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Oh my God, seriously. Thank you, Chris. Our artwork is by Viv Pickles, aka Laura, and we are, as always, eternally grateful to our drunk Slack moderators, particularly Moderator-in-Chief Jenna Bukowski. You can support the show by going to patreon.com/PodlanderDrunkcast, where you can find all kinds of cool stuff, including access to our Slack, our mostly kind of sort of weekly live watches, early access to episodes, some bonus content, and other fun things. Again, that is patreon.com/PodlanderDrunkcast. You can also support us by leaving a review wherever it is that you get your podcasts. Wherever, just give us a little review, and we will be so grateful to you. And in addition to all of those wonderful people who do all of those wonderful things, we want to especially thank the following just absolute stacked roster of lovely folks who support us on Patreon.
Okay, so I don't really read the name list, so bear with me, but we're getting into it, okay? We want to thank all of you, but very specifically, we want to thank Bonnie, not a prince or a douche, just my name. Jessica Brewer, Kristen Bennett, Susan S., Gwendolyn Wind, Evietta Chapman, Copper 29 Dragons, Nicole Koenig, Mariana Morris, Ginka Soja, Susan Springer, Cindy Elliott, Jay Deich, Andrea, Catherine Bullard, Vanessa, Rebecca's Gift, Amanda Chappell, Kristen Z, Melissa Mendez, Leslie Jamie, Jennifer, Tara Ross, Victoria Pegg, Aditi Joshi Parker, Laura Coach Mama LT, Tracy Stewart, Amy Allison, Brenda, Shayna Vaughn, Aaron, Diana Sprague, Ashley LaHue, Doc JWS, Karen Shane, Elisa Kerkowski, Tanya Rick Stair, Amanda Miller, Megan Rich, Kate Snipes, Ann Romeo, Naomi Beckman Strauss, Sydney Taylor, Alyssa McGuire, Laura Mahoney, Ashley Winteroth, Midnight Burger, Anna N., Dakota Girl, Margot Mansfield, Snazzy Knack, Lisa Brian, Julia Gulia, Kathleen Martini, Jessie Massey, Taryn, Kelsey Kemp, Emily Day, Caitlin Reddick, Katie in Kilts, Molly, Maria DeVito, Rachel Agbar, Kristen and Emerson, hi Emerson, Larissa Malmstat, Freckled Fury, Laura Calm, Amelia Bazell, Ham on the Loose, Patrick, Liz Peniston, Danny Bryant, Lindsay, Caitlin Rose, Megan Matthey, Denise Perkins, Monica, Lori Johnson, Sarah McKelvane? McKelvane. I'm going with that. Brittany Hulbert, Amy Gustafson, Rachel Townsend, Meredith Kersey, Amber, Liz, Kelly Mazzella, Chantel Salters, Mary the Falling Statue, Karen J. Young, Philip Nako, Tara Lucchino, Viv Pickles, Mary of the Grapefruit, Jean Kiesler, Christy, Jenna Polkowski, Scotty Caldwell, Ann Gibson, Kristen Flannery, Katie G, Tori Bryan, and Kiki the Wise. Thank you all so much. We're just going to keep doing it, so keep listening, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.